Hello and welcome to another Talks episode. I'm your host Teddy, and today I'm being joined once again by
Hayden.
And today we're going to talk about the TMNT 2012 Season 2 Episode 26, Invasion Part 2. So, what do you think about this episode briefly, if you can describe it briefly?
This episode is a great end to the series. This is just one of those episodes that just takes it all, in my opinion. It is just filled to the brim with action-packed elements, history and lore that I'm still trying to decipher on what had actually happened. Like, there is so much lore, so much history, so much action to try and understand. It is just mind-boggling to me that certain elements of this episode has just come together after 2 series of this, and it's just absolutely mental.
Yeah, this one is just on a whole nother level of just craziness with what goes down with... I think it's just more down to the fact with the fights with Shredder and Splinter, Shredder and Leatherhead, Stuff Leo, all of it is just on... I think the best way to just describe it is it's just on a whole nother level, and I feel like this is like where the show like really peaked, and it does an amazing job. So, yeah, with this bit, I don't know how to really go around this episode, because there's loads of multiple different parts that all tie in together. So, yeah, where should we start with this one?
Oh, the good question. I really don't know. Because we got so many different, like, action scenes going on at one time. We got Master Splinter and Shredder, we got Leo and Shredder, Leatherhead and Shredder, and then, of course, Casey and April Jones. We got so much to go through. But what do you think we should do? What do you think is the best one, or, like, the least one to start with? Like, because I can't make that decision at this time, because I don't know myself either.
Okay, let's start off with Raph and Casey being chased in the streets and EPF showing up to fight Krang Prime. What do you think about that scene there?
Well, first of all, Casey Jones and Raphael almost get killed in a near-death incident by Krang Prime. That was a bit intense, seeing that happen. And of course, the scene where the Earth Protection Force shows up in an armored convoy. What's all that about? That out of the blue, this somewhat militarized organization turns up in New York with armored convoys, machine guns, cannons, bazookas, and I mean, they are coming in packing. Where did they come from? Who are they? And what are they trying? What's their agenda like? There are so many questions around this weird military force. To be honest, at first I thought it was like the US Army, but when they turn up with this super futuristic armored convoy with weapons, bazookas, I didn't think it of the army. I thought, wow, this is like some next level stuff.
Yeah, I mean, with this scene here, I thought it was like an okay kind of scene, just seeing them like getting chased throughout the streets and all that. And with the whole EPF thing, I do like it because they're in there, and with them, it's hard to explain. I'll explain in just a second, but we want to give my thoughts about them. I mean, I thought that them in here, it was okay. It was nice to see them in this episode, and I mean, all I gotta ask is, like, why weren't they in, like, the season 1 invasion and stuff like that, trying to stop all the other threats? There's just, like, a lot of, like, questions around that, instead of, like, sending off the police to go after them. Like, oh, God, yeah. But with the EPF kind of thing, in the 2012 show, they aren't really a big deal whatsoever. They're just there sometimes, barely ever. But in the 2003 show, they do appear in season 3, and they are like a pretty big threat. And with the character who's running the operation, you're gonna love the character when you do see him. It will take a while to actually see him, but when you see him, you're gonna be like, oh shit, this is like on a whole nother level of like amazing characters. And I know this is possibly not the best version to get introduced to the EPF, but we're here now, so yeah. So then after that, there wasn't really too much with the Ralph and Casey stuff before because they just go to the apartment. Okay, let's talk about the Leo versus the Foot fights in the construction area. What do you think about that bit there?
Wow. That was certainly something. With Leo fighting all the Footbots, being like pummeled almost near death, that was just something to see. And Leo just fighting with every ounce of strength he has left, his skills and everything coming together was just incredible. And one particular bit of the fight scene where he stabs one of the Footbots and then pulls out a hidden blade within the sword to stab the other Footbot coming in towards him in the abdomen. I don't know why, that particular scene really got me. Like, he was going all in, he was throwing everything at him, no remorse whatsoever. He was just fighting for his life, and that was just brilliant, I thought.
You have to say that with this, with that fight scene there, it was just, I realised how, like, because I feel like, because, I mean, with the storyline which they're going for, I feel like this was a interesting take on it, just because this, this whole part of the story was in the original one, but for some reason, every other version that's adapted that story, they never do this part of the story. So I was quite surprised and happy that we did get this part in here, and I did really enjoy it. And I feel like with the action, it's like pretty cool and like what you expect, and just where it goes like really brutal, which was just great and amazing. And I think that the thing that like really got me like really hooked onto this scene here was just the voice acting. Something about it with just I think I can't remember who the actor was doing all the voice doing all like the sound effects, like just like doing all the breathing, heavy breathing, and the actions. Like, it worked so well. It really was on a whole other level, which I loved bits. So then we've got a scene where we do get to see Leo fights Tiger Claw, Raza, and Fishface, and takes them down very easily. What do you think about that scene there?
That was just intense. There are so many intense and emotional scenes in this video. It is unbelievable, especially the music. I'm going to say this quite a lot in this podcast tonight, but we have so many moments where the music just hits so hard. Like, I mean, the music just makes it 10 times more better, I think. Especially with this scene with Leo fighting Raza, Fishface, and Tiger Claw. Like, he is just fighting for his life, and the audience knows it.
Yeah, I mean, with this bit here, I enjoy it because, I don't know, I think, like, because, like, all the stuff that you just said was, like, the best way to describe it. But at the same time, I feel like with the Tiger Claw kind of thing, that bit there, like, annoys me a little bit, just because I know if he was angry and does have a lot more motivation to fight and stuff like that, but at the same time, when you look at, like, other episodes where Leo's fighting him, it does seem a bit, like, out of balance, just because, you know, episodes where Leo has, like, full strength, he has his weapons, and he fights Tiger Claw, he's weak and more or less useless, but here he's able to take him out with one kick, and I know, something about it just feels a little bit off. But, oh my god, next scene, we do get to see Shredder comes in and slashes Leo. What did you think about that scene there?
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. With Shredder coming in from behind, taking out Leo with one foul swoop, and just the whole screen turning black, I'm thinking, oh my god, he's finally done it. He's finally killed Leo. And I was just sitting at the edge of my seat trying to figure out, I was like, this can't be the end. Literally, it cannot be the end. And Leo is defeated, and I'm like, no. I couldn't believe it. That is literally what I thought. It's like, nah, this is some joke or something. You can't just straight up do that. You can't do that to Leo. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I've always found this bit to just be like one of those kind of scenes where you just have your mouth to the floor, just like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. And it works on so many different levels, and I feel like the only thing that really brings it down is the lack of like blood or like any injuries. But I know there's a kids show, so it just makes sense. But I think that's the only thing that's holding it back. Other than that, it was just a perfect scene. So yeah, so let's can we talk about the rest of the Leo stuff first before we talk about the Shredder fights. Um, so we do get to see he's thrown through the window. Was you expecting that?
To be honest, I wasn't expecting him to be thrown through the window like that. To be honest, I thought he was going to be used as bait, like he was being hung off, being on the rooftop and then being bait to lure out the turtles inside the house. But I wasn't expecting the direct approach of where Tiger Claw just yeets poor Leo right through April's window and onto like the living room floor. Everyone to see his body just mangled, his body just destroyed, and his life and his soul hanging by a thread. Like, I don't think I was expecting that at all. And I don't think April or Casey or the Turtles or Kirby was not expecting that either. So, completely out the blue with that one. But with that one as well, I'm going to make references from the 2003 show, if you don't mind. Because that is literally what it reminded me of. Leo being thrown through the window, April, excuse me.
You can do it.
Speak. April's apartment. There we go, we got it. Through April's apartment in 2003. And that's what it reminded me of. Just the pure shock, the pure horror of everyone.
Well, I mean, with that, like, that is to be expected, just because, like, both, both story, or I'd say, but like both versions adapted the same storyline, but adapted different parts of the story. So yeah, I mean, it's to be expected. Like, you would, like, think that, and yeah, I mean, with this bit here, I mean, when I first saw it in the trailer back in 2014, I couldn't believe it, and it was amazing. It was just possibly like one of the best things I saw that year. And then even when watching it in the episode, when I knew it was coming, I just still couldn't believe it actually happened. And I mean, I don't think it is as good as 2003, because I feel like 2003 handled the whole situation better. Would have been like a lot more like fights in April's apartment, and she felt like a big threat. But I do feel like the timing for this one was a lot better, and of how they executed the other parts of the storyline where you go to Northampton. I don't know. I was thinking about it where where it's at the end of the season, a season finale is the big oh shit moment. Like, you know, like it's all gone wrong. The Turtles can't win, and it works so well. And then building up to like return to New York in the next season, it works so much better this way. But I think that without all the fights in April's apartment, it's just an okay scene, but with really, like really great like storytelling. So the next scene, which I don't think you was expecting to see, we got to see Kirby get mutated again. Was you expecting that?
No, and no. I was just thinking to myself, oh god, not again. Like, after the hassle we had the last couple of episodes with the Turtles and April trying to unmutate Kirby from his first mutation, I wasn't having it. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Not again. Like, after Kirby showed us his party wagon, which I must say is just so hippie. Like, it is very hipster of Kirby to have a party wagon. Like, absolutely. Just, I just found it hilarious. But no, after Kirby got mutated, I was like, I can't go through with this anymore. Like, literally, not again. We can't have this again. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I don't know where to really begin with this bit, because I like it. It's like just adding on to the oh my god, like all his lost moments and all that. It works so well. But at the same time, I think that because I already know like how they like resolve all this, and with them already doing it again, it's just like, we're doing this again. But at the same time, there is the big oh my god, I was not expecting that moment. So I'm like go back and forth on this bit, because I like it because I was not expecting it, but at the same time, they've done it before, so it was like, oh, okay, we're doing that. But at the same time, they already know how to make retribution, so it's not really that much of a big deal. So yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Shredder fight scenes. So the first one, I feel like we can talk about Leatherhead versus Shredder. Uh, what do you think about that scene?
Leatherhead versus Shredder. What a great scene. To be honest, I don't think... Have we seen Leatherhead go up against Shredder before? Or was this the first time?
This is the first time in this show, and there's only one scene in 2003, but it's a very bad, or a very poor scene, just because Leatherhead just jumps on Leatherhead. Oh no! Oh god! No, wait! No, wait! Oh god! I need to rephrase that. Leatherhead jumps on Shredder and just throws him. That's about as much as a fight we get in 2003. So this is the best fight we ever get of Shredder versus Leatherhead.
Oh wow! So it's very rare then.
Yeah, very. I mean, knowing like the comics is, I don't think it's even interested in the comics with Leatherhead. So I think like this is actually like the very first time. Cool, wow.
Yeah. But no, that scene with Shredder and Leatherhead, I thought that was really cool. I thought the show was about to lose its PG rating. Like he just sent everything at him. He literally just clobbered at him. He chewed on him. He spat him back out and then threw some more punches at him. Like I mean, Leatherhead was not holding back. But sadly, we see Shredder taking him down, defeating him, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. You've messed with Leatherhead. Like, you're on my hate list right now.
Yeah, I mean, this fight scene goes real hard, and it's just so brutal with everything, and I think that's just what makes it just so perfect with how brutal it is, with Leatherhead biting him, and yeah, I don't know what else to really say other than it's just great for being so brutal. But with that being said, and I feel like you might have questioned this, how is Shredder able to survive all this? And even like after like fighting Splinter, he gets beaten up. He gets beaten up. He gets chewed on. Gets thrown through a wall, and yet he somehow survives all of it. And but either way,
I really don't know.
Either way, we got the Shredder versus Splinter fight scenes. Oh boy. Yeah, you may start.
I don't know where to start, mate. This was just absolute brutal. With this scene, I guess I'll have to start it off with Shredder. Master Splinter. He just absolutely had enough. He wanted Shredder dead. Like, he wanted to take him out for good. And this is what we got. And this was absolutely amazing. Shredder just absolutely went to town, and Splinter went to town, and they just battled it out. The two brotherly rivals were just... It was just madness. Just absolute chaos. And then, of course, we see Shredder and Splinter later on in the episode with that scene. I won't talk about it now because I want to save it till the last little bit, but I assure you it's very good. But no, that was just absolutely unreal. Like the two falling down into the sewers and just seeing them like fight. It's certainly a very powerful scene in which it is better than most scenes most fight scenes with Shredder and Splinter in a really long time. But of course, the one that takes it all is at the very end, in which I will explain further because we've got so much more else to do.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, I mean, I don't think that this fight scene was as good as last season's, but I feel like this is definitely a really good fight scene. The scene, like both of them being like so emotionally like there and angry, engaged, is just on a whole nother level. Like again, on a whole nother level, and yeah, wow, I just don't even know where to really begin. It's just, yeah, I mean, so many questions, but just so great with all of it. Just seeing how like invested they are in the fight scenes, and my only complaint, I know that's a stupid one, but I feel like you might be a little bit on my side with this one. how did Splinter get up from all those metal bars on his back? He should have died, but
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, other than that, it was a really great scene. It's just that bit there. It's just like really, it's gotten so strong. But
Yes.
yeah, and then
That was.
and with the actual
Sorry, go on.
with the fight scene, you do get to see Shredder beat Splinter. Was you actually expecting like that to happen, or was you expecting Mark Splinter to win?
To be honest, when Splinter went Super Saiyan after seeing Leatherhead's defeat, I thought, oh my gosh, it's about to go down. Like, it is seriously about to go down. Like, after Splinter had this, like, Super Saiyan moment, he was just powerful. And you could tell it was powerful. But I didn't expect it to go the way it went.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know because I think like at the time with watching this one, because I mean with these two episodes I've always watched them like back to back as one, and this is the first time watching it like individual. So I feel like when I was watching it, like every time I watched it before, it's always like really like kept on running the high moments of everything that come before that, with the fight scenes with Shredder and Splinter, Shredder and Leatherhead, and all stuff with Leo and all that. So there was a lot of stuff there which I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that, like, adding that onto the mix. But I feel like watching it now as an individual episode, it's it's not as strong as it was before, but I feel like it's still a very impactful moment. It's just like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened, what's going to happen next and stuff like that. But again, with all the stuff which have been saying before, how is Shredder able to get up and how is he still alive? He should be dead. But yeah, so we do get to see the Turtles in April. They do return to the lair to collect one item before we do see Shredder and Splinter's fight. Do you have anything to say about that scene?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
So,
Cut out, sorry.
I was talking about the Turtles going back to the lair to collect one item.
That was an interesting scene, because you see the layer destroyed. Like, it's completely burnt to a crisp. It's completely destroyed, and it is quite an emotional roller coaster for the Turtles, because the Turtles are having to leave their home. They're going to have to leave New York. After all these years of them living in New York, they're finally abandoning it because it is uninhabitable anymore. And that is just really powerful to say, like, this is a change, like, this is an effect that is going to affect everything that they now do. Like, they're going to have to, like, live on the road, and they are just demoralized and absolutely in shock because of it. And it's just it's heartbreaking to see, because their home is gone. Like, imagine me and you, our homes were destroyed by an alien race, and we had to leave our homes. That would make you feel like a certain way, wouldn't it?
I've never really given much thought about that, for obvious reasons, but it's never happened. But yeah, I mean, I guess I would feel that way, but at the same time, I've never really given it much thought.
Yeah, I guess. But that's how I would perceive it as. Like, put yourself in their shoes and realise, like, wow, this is demoralising for them. You know, it's an emotional scene for them.
Yeah.
Just to, like, witness their home and having to abandon and leave it. It's a terrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I think that because I guess I'm built differently. I didn't really feel that emotional towards this bit. I guess the part, like, I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. There's a little bit of part about it. It was just like, huh, that's kind of sad. But I don't know. Something about I think it might just be me. But like, it's just like one of those kind of scenes where it's just like, it's sad enough for me to go, huh. But it was cool nonetheless, I want to say, for me. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like it depends on the scene. Some scenes are like, oh my god, yeah, this is emotional. Some, like this one, like, this kind of is. But yeah, let's talk about the final fight scene. The turtle mech versus
the fight scene.
I I mean, I wouldn't say it's the fight scene for me, but you know, let's go with it. The fight scene then. The Turtle Mech versus Krang's Prime. What do you think about that fight scene there?
Turtle Jaeger versus Krang Prime. Like, come on. That is something. Like, out of nowhere, the Turtle Jaeger, that's what I'm calling it now, a Jaeger. Because it literally is. It's a Jaeger, okay? And if anyone's got a problem with it, deal with it, alright? It's a Turtle Jaeger. But no, that was just an epic scene. The Turtle Jaeger coming out, fighting Krang Prime was... I was not expecting it, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it to go down that certain way. And the Turtles building and operating such a machine to defeat Krang Prime, like... Compared the sizes of the two, like Krang Prime and Turtle Jaeger, like Krang Prime is 10 times taller than the Turtle Jaeger. So I was thinking this isn't gonna go well. Like the Turtles are gonna get defeated, but it actually went down in the Turtles' favor. Like the Turtles had such more, well, I'd say advanced weaponry, but the weaponry that the Turtles used, such as like the shock harpoon, that was pretty cool to see how Krang Prime got fried like a crisp from like, and then of course immediately short fusing the entire New York district like into complete darkness. That was pretty cool.
I mean, for me, I've always found this bit here to be like not as good as the rest of the of like these episodes. I feel like this is I don't know, I feel like because of everything that's happened in the last two episodes, with how things have gone down, with like how big and impactful things are, just things which we can't even put into words for how great they are, and then we get this scene which I feel like is a little bit of a letdown in a way. It didn't really have like, I don't know, something about it just didn't really click with me too well, but like, it was still cool nonetheless, and I did enjoy it. But I feel like the hype around this fight scene for me was just sort of just gone after everything we just went through with like Shredder and Splinter stuff. But I have to say, like, there was like some pretty cool moments in this one. I did really enjoy like how I think it's just like how much detail Mech moved around, did like different things, because it could have easily gone down in like a very cliche kind of way where like basically I'd say like both robots are same size and just punching each other, or just like sort of like regular cliche kind of stuff, which I'm glad they didn't do. And I did like how like diverse the like the weapons were for the Turtle Mech to go up against Krang Prime, and then even using the whole electricity and all that. It's like very creative and really unique for the fight scene, but I don't know, something about it just didn't really work all too well. I feel like everything about the fight scene was just there, it was okay, but just didn't really have all the emotional benefits that the other fight scenes had. So then we got to see all the other turtles in Case in April. They leave town. What do you think about that scene there?
That was another tense scene. Like, them driving through New York City, it looked like an apocalypse movie. Like, it really was. Like, they were driving through the city, there was people turning to Krang zombies, the city was in flames, there's gunshots, there's gunshots, you can hear, like, helicopters and people screaming. It really looked like something out of an apocalyptic movie, like, for reals. And it was just absolutely insane. And of course, when they're in like the camper van or party wagon, whatever it is, they talk about like, what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go? What's our next plan? What's our next steps? And of course, it's like a really like deep scene for the turtles, like the people, like turtles, like Donnie, Raphael, and Mikey. Like Raphael was actually hugging Mikey, like he wasn't trying to pummel him for once, he was actually trying to reassure him, which is just really good to see, like as brothers, like they come together in the worst times to reassure one another that everything's going to be alright. But no, it was just really deep, and trying to see it through their eyes was very, very very terrible for them. And of course, Casey Jones and his family, like, he doesn't know whether they were destroyed, or crangified, or even worse, dead. That he didn't know, and it was just a terrible thing for him. And of course, April's trying to reassure him, and it's just like, what do we do now? Like, we've survived, but what do we do?
Well, don't feel too bad about Casey's family because we never see him in the show, so there's that.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
That takes one burden off me.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought this was like a really great emotional ending to this episode to really leave you on like the low, and I feel like that worked really well. Just, and I was talking about it because I feel like this, because it was like a really big event. I'd say this is a really big moment for Turtles at the time because I feel like at the time we hadn't really seen the Turtles like lose this badly. Like I know that like we've seen other Turtles like lose like in an episode, and then like sometimes in a movie they'll lose. But like, it was like one of these kind of things. Basically, like we see them like lose, but they'll get like really like recover in the next episode and win. But this was like I'd say like this was like on a whole nother level with this bit here, and I feel like it worked so well. To, like losing for like on like just like losing on again like on a whole nother level, which worked so well. The only thing which I did find weird was like Donnie saying was essentially saying for like essentially like and if they did all listen to Leo and go out city, like none of this would happen. The only thing with that is that the invasion still would have happened, and that's all I really got to say about that. It probably would have been even worse, but I don't see how getting out of the city would have made things any better. It still would have happened.
Yeah, it would have eventually happened no matter what. Like, the Krang would have still found the lair, they would have destroyed the lair, and they would have carried on with the invasion just as planned. But it would have just taken a bit longer.
Yeah. Okay, well, the last scene, we do get see Karai. She saves Splinter and brings him up onto the surface in the sewers. What do you think about that scene there?
To be honest, I really wasn't expecting to see Karai. Like after the intense action scenes we've had previously, I wasn't expecting Karai to save her father again. Like, it was just unexpected, but it's still a pretty cool scene.
I mean, it was an okay scene. It worked well enough. It was just, I want this kind of scene. I want to say just was there. I feel like maybe it might have been differently. I mean, I don't know how well it would have worked out if, like, maybe they didn't show this bit, and if there's more of a mystery, if, like, Splinter was actually, like, alive or not. I feel like that might have been a little bit more interesting, because I don't know, something about it now, like, no, I think about, because we already know, like, Splinter's alive, and he's well, something about it's just, like, not really that, like, thrilling anymore. It's just, like, okay, so, he's alive, okay, moving on. Yeah, what do you think about this episode overall?
This was a really great episode, a really great one to end the series on for Season 2 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I thought it was really great, really grand, and definitely up on my top 10. Okay,
well, with that being said, what do you think is going to happen in the next season and, like, in the next episode? I know for, like, so it's going to be a little bit weird just because I'm not talking about season 3 soon, but like, we'll be talking about soon-ish, but like, I'm quite interested to hear like, what I'd say about it now, after everything they've seen today.
I think what's going to happen is, I think I'm basing this off the 2003 show for some reason, because this episode gave me so many reasons to go back to the 2003 for reference. So basically, I'm thinking April and Casey Jones and the Turtles, they're going to go up to April's summer house or place where they used to go as kids. They're going to hang out and hide and lay low there for a while until Leo rebuilds his strength and his skills again. And I think we're going to have and I think they're going to be like some sort of little resistance against the Krang who have taken over the city, or maybe the EDF, Earth Defense Force, steps in and reclaims the city, but the city is different now, or something along those lines. But honestly, I really can't tell what's going to happen. I can only give you like theories and conspiracies.
Okay, well, with all your theories, you're on the right tracks. I'll say that. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So, do you want to hear some comments now?
let's hear them.
Okay. So on YouTube, we got NMC Channel 27. They put Leo's fight with the Foot Clan. And then Hingam Buddy Her was just so sad. That's maybe why this episode was my favourite. Okay, that's a little bit messed up. And then on Reddit, if it loads, okay, so where to start? Okay, Freelance Wolf, they put the stakes were went up 1,000%, and yeah, they definitely did compared to everything else.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But real quick.
The Kangaroo Rich. They put the first thing I could think of when Leo gets thrown through a window. I sometimes think to myself, that's when the windows became his mortal enemy.
Oh, that's funny. I like that.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so for the trivia, there's surprisingly quite a lot. Okay, so with this bit, with the majority of this bit is just going over the bits about the Leo fight scene, saying it was the adaptation of a story called "What Goes Around Comes Around" that was adapted into the original movie Shredder Strikes Back Part 1. And then April's apartment, and like there's saying like some other little differences. But in the original comics, it was say around Christmas. The building goes up in flames. Splinter's not there. April's dad, Kirby, he's not there either. Like there's a lot of stuff in here that's just like not in the original, which yeah. But despite the differences, the end of the episode mimics the happening in the Silent Partner, so that's kind of cool. When Krang Prime faints, there's a brief appearance of a wind-blown newspaper with an article about a dinosaur man resembling a Triceratops as a reference to the Triceratons. Oh, okay. Do you know what
Triceratons?
Ah, God, yes, okay, that's good. So, with the first few episodes of the 2003 show for season 2, which we'll be covering in about 2 weeks' time, we will be getting to see the Triceratons, and I think you're going to enjoy them for what they are, with how unique they are. The best way to, I mean, I can't really spoil it because they are dinosaurs in space going to war with humans about a teleporter. So,
what?
Yeah,
that sounds crazy.
Yeah, look forward to that in the next 2 weeks. Okay, the Krang who finds Splinter Masura prior to his meeting with Leatherhead shouts, "Exterminate, exterminate!" This is luckily a nod to the dates of long-running science fiction series Doctor Who. "Exterminate" is the most oft-repeated line. The Krang and Daleks in the base forms bear some resemblance to each other, both of them appearing in tendril aliens with prominent brains. Maybe. Okay, there's a horror and sci-fi film festival being held in the movie theatre, coincidental to the events happening in the episode. Mikey shouts, "Turtleneck power," and nod to the classic phrase "Turtle power." When April is reminiscing over her life with the turtles, she's strangely shown to be wielding more than one Tessent. Yeah, did you see that, or was this something you just learned about now?
I'm not too sure. What do you mean by holding one or more Tessent?
You know April's weapon, the fan? Well, when she was seeing the images in the lair, there was a scene where you got to see her swinging her arm around, but in one hand she had another Tessent as well, which is strange.
Right, I didn't know. I thought she was just holding the one.
Okay then. Okay, this is the final episode to have Dominic Catchbone voice Leonardo, as he will be replaced by someone else in the next episode. Do you want to find out who next Leonardo is, or do you want to wait for it to be a surprise?
Let's wait for it to be a surprise. It'll be interesting that way.
Okay then. This is the last episode with the animation produced by Technicolor Animation Production. Okay. Okay, so for the cast, it is a very big one. So we got April Noah voiced by Mae Whitman, Casey Jones voiced by Josh Peck, Donatello voiced by Rob Paulson, Krang voiced by Noah North, Prime voiced by Rosanne Barr, Leonardo voiced by Dominic Catchbone, Michelangelo voiced by Greg Sipes, Raphael voiced by Sean Constantine, Shredder voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, Splinter voiced by Hoon Lee, Possession Force Soldier voiced by Eric Bowser, Kirby O'Neill voiced by Keith Silverstein, Leatherhead voiced by Pete Larrier, Raza voiced by Clancy Brown, and Tiger Claw voiced by Eric Bowser. So, yeah. So, yeah, the next episode, the next week's one is going back to something which we'd like to do, our top 10 episodes, so I hope they have been keeping a record of what ones you want to put on that list.
Yeah, I've been keeping record.
Oh, that's good. I don't make a mistake like I did last time with the 2003 it was a 2012 show you did. The first time you did it, you messed it up where he's going from 1 to 10. I hope you don't make that same mistake.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to say about this episode, or are you all done with this one?
To be honest, I'm all tapped out, to be honest. I've said what I've needed to say, and I think I've got my point across for this episode.
Yeah. And I must admit, I'm very glad we was able to do this episode in individual parts, because I think if we had done both these in one part, oh god, that would have been hell to try to speak about everything in an hour. So I'm so glad we did it this way. Yeah. If you don't want to get onto the podcast, you can leave a comment on YouTube, Reddit, Anchor, either through text message or voice message. But yeah, I've been your host Teddy,
and I've been Hayden,
and we'll see you soon. Goodbye, yo, bye.
Bye.